child to respond to the headmaster's red pen corrections in her school books by replying with her own little notes, maybe suggesting that, as he was obviously stressed, and that he might like to take a holiday and relax. A girl who, until her 30s, despised the idea of anyone eating veal because she thought it was cat. It was all to do with a mispronunciation in the film, apparently. I will forever cherish the memories of turning up to primary school in the Cosworth-powered Westfield. That could always make us scream. It used to make me scream as well, but that was out of control. The weekends of off-roading in the Land Rovers around Hampshire and Wiltshire, the motorcycle journeys to universities and camping out in Cornwall to take our CVs to prospective jobs in the area. We even rode from Hampshire to Pew to check out a camper van she wished to buy. Only a couple of years ago, we rode to North Wales for an off-road bike training day with an ex-Dakar rider. Hannah was embarrassingly good, having caught us blokes up only after about half an hour's initial training. Gaynor and I were invited to the Wakeboarding Lake's annual barbecue one year, where boarders and skiers were frapping about behind the VA powerboat, doing tricks and stunts. We heard someone comment, "Hey look, someone's barefoot skiing. Looks like Hannah." A cough and a sudden bout of indigestion later, it was Hannah. As Hannah grew up, numerous suitors appeared upon the scene, always worrying when shoes left in the porch were bigger than your own. They were all of West Hannah Lane, and she could have had a life varnishing decks on charter yachts, working for McDonald's in Ireland, driving mining trucks in the outback. G'day, mate. Goodbye, mate. No disrespect to you, Cody. Wonderful nation. Or modelling diamonds and prestigious watches. But she always said that if any of them ask you if they can marry me, say no. Luckily, I was never asked. Until that is Simon came along. Then she said, "You know what I said before? Well, if he asks you, could you say yes?" In fact, every time I've been out with Simon, she would ask me, "Has he said anything?" He did ask me while we were at Porthleven having a ride out and a coffee. And yes, it was a moment. And I appreciated it, and of course, said yes. Simon drove into our lives in an oversized pickup truck with a cap, beard, check shirt, boots, and a firm handshake. Going well so far, I thought. After walking into my workshop and surveying all the motorcycles and equipment, he focused upon a little blue scooter in the corner, which he instantly announced, "Isn't that what dodgy blokes sit outside schools on and keep dolling themselves?" A very brave way to introduce yourself. However, a measure of our humour since the scooter was sold within a few weeks. So when I came to give my darling Hannah away to Simon, I didn't think so much that I'm losing my daughter, but I'm handing over responsibility. There's not so much a dowry which accompanies her, but a manual. I consider that I am now gaining a son and a friend, and it is truly wonderful for Gaynor and I to welcome Simon and all his family into our lives. So may I propose a toast to the happy couple, Mr. Simon and Mrs. Howard Wilkins.
I would like to thank you all for being here today. Many of you have travelled long distances to be here, some as far as Australia, America, Eastern Europe. My wife and I had a very difficult time finalising our guest list. There are so many people who we have been so lucky to meet, who have been so kind to us, who we enjoy spending time with, and who we feel a great deal of love for. Unfortunately, most of them work on Thursday. In truth, you are all here because not only is it you that we feel so much love for, it is also you that we wanted to begin this journey with. Most importantly, it is you that we hope will stay with us through the years to come. As the days, months and years pass, as we get older, greyer and balder, we hope that you will all continue to visit us. You will always be welcome at Simon & Gaynor's. This brings me to a very important point. Simon & Gaynor, my new mother and father-in-law, you have raised the most incredibly kind, generous, beautiful, characterful and compassionate daughter. Hannah is a reflection of both your characters. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and Hannah is no exception. In the last couple of days, whilst expressing my gratitude for the help and work that has gone into arranging this wedding, I've been reminded that it has been a team effort. And whilst this is true, all teams need leaders. In this case, Hannah and Gaynor. Hannah and Gaynor have worked tirelessly to design, create and deliver what you see before you now. And I think you will agree they have done a remarkable job. Gaynor has recruited a fabulous team who have kindly given their time, their help, considerable expertise every step of the way. Simon, Val, Ian and my mum Jan, Hannah and I are truly grateful for all of your support and help. We would not be here without you. We would also like to say special mention to Maggie and Derek who have delivered the wonderful logs you see before you on the table today. Okay, so I'd like to say how wonderful all the bridesmaids look today. And to Holly, Hannah's maid of honour, thank you so much. Not just for everything you have done to support Hannah for our special day, but moreover for being her closest friend, her confidant, and her support for many, many years. Hannah's closest friends have shaped her into the woman that I have fallen so deeply in love with, and I'm personally very grateful. To Craig, my best man. You stood through me, through the highs and the lows. You've been there for me through the good decisions, few of them, and the bad, many. I could not ask for a better man to be stood by my side today, and I look forward to a lifetime of friendship. Thank you so much for just being you. And to my ushers, including my two brothers, Tim and Rob, thank you for all your support, and for not sharing pictures of the stag do with the entire congregation. I might remind you that some may have weak stomachs and other weak hearts. When it comes to marriage, Hannah and I have the best of role models. Simon and Gaynor have created a calm and loving household which Hannah and I are proud to call our home. My mother Jan raised 3 unruly lads with my father John, who sadly isn't with us today. The example that has been set by our parents is second to none. And whilst not all fairy tales can carry a happy ending, the memories created along the way will last forever. I know my father will be full of joy and excitement today. He would fall in love with Hannah like all of us do, and welcome her into our family with open arms. He would also be so proud of my mum for all she continues to do for this family. Hannah has a habit of lighting up every room, and today, no exception. We first met 11 years ago whilst I was arranging a surprise birthday for my girlfriend at the time, who happened to be Hannah's friend. In that first instant, I knew Hannah was incredibly special. As the years passed, and since Hannah and I had no mutual friends to link us together, I had to find something we could talk about. I took it upon myself to date only the most atrocious of women, a real group of knuckle draggers, a line of horrific relationships from the dull to the delusional, just so we had something in common. Over the following years, I found myself firmly in the friend zone. Hannah must have sensed I had a thing for her. She once tried to sell me her old crap surfboard, designed for fat people that no one else would buy, for far more money than it was worth. Hannah must have thought I was an idiot, and I would buy anything she had pressed against in a bikini. I promptly handed over all my cash, and also threw in the jacket I was wearing. The more time we spent together, the more we realised we had in common. Hannah's sense of fun, her adventure, her spirit, and love for the outdoors became addictive to me. I remember thinking Hannah is everything I look for in a woman: kind, intelligent, quick-witted, but with a taste in men best described as charitable. 3 years ago, after playing the longest of long games, Hannah reached out and told me she wanted to be more than just friends. I felt like I had won the lottery. Every day I marvel at Hannah's beauty, elegance, and strength of character. I wonder how on earth this incredible woman has become my wife. She'll be devastated when she realises that marrying me doesn't qualify her as a carer's allowance, and she still can't park any closer to Tesco's. Hannah, there is not a single person in the world that I would rather spend the rest of my life annoying and talking at. In the years to come, if you've not switched off and you're still listening, you'll hear me tell you every day that I love you with all my heart. You'll catch me staring at you and marvelling at your beauty. You'll hear me tell others how lucky I am to have you in my life. And you will know that I have and always will adore you. I'd like to raise a toast. There is another marriage to celebrate this week. You may be aware of the hype. On Monday, it is Simon and Gayna's 35th wedding anniversary. And I would like to take this opportunity to wish them continued love, health, and happiness from the bottom of our hearts. To Simon and Gayna. And it's at this point that I'm going to hand over to my best man and habitual liar, Craig Lapp.
I have the distinct pleasure of being Simon's best man today. It's a distinct pleasure for the very reason that I can now even the score for the best man speech he gave at my wedding. Just remember, Simon, you set the bar and you brought this all on yourself. Now, before I get carried away hammering Simon's already questionable reputation, I'd like to say thank you on behalf of myself and I'm sure all the other guests here present to Simon and Hannah for inviting us to celebrate this very special day with you both. I think you'll all agree with me that Hannah, you look absolutely lovely today. And I think on seeing Simon's reaction when you walked down the aisle, he clearly agrees. Simon, I feel like you could have made more effort. I'm told that my job as best man is to provide a speech about Simon which is both funny and kind, but also helps him retain what little respect you may still have left for him. I'm afraid to say I failed miserably in that task. By the end of the speech you'll have no respect left for Simon. As some of you may be aware, I'm a police officer by trade. I've got pause for booze in there, but that's good. And while reflecting on my friendship with Simon, it's dawned on me that he is in fact a career criminal. Although he is my friend, I cannot allow these crimes to go unanswered. And as such, I've drawn up a case file and I would like you, the jury, to consider the evidence. Simon, stand up for me please and place both your hands on top of your head. Simon Alexander Wilkinson, you are hereby charged with the following offences: breaches of peace, outrage of public decency, and fraud by false representation. Fair enough. In relation to breach of the peace, and what can only be described as the start of your love of extreme sports, it is alleged that at age 4, whilst on holiday, you did ruin the Queen's peace by launching yourself into a swimming pool wearing only a rubber ring. Ordinarily, this shouldn't pose a problem for your average 4-year-old, but if you never want to miss a chance of fame, you landed, your head completely submerged, leaving your little legs flapping about above the water. and despite best efforts to right yourself, you were unable to do so. I'm told this caused considerable distress to your family and resulted in Rob having to dive in to save you, a fact for which Rob assures me you've always been extremely grateful. It is alleged by Dan, Mose and Julian that you did further breach the peace on numerous occasions while out drinking with them in Farnborough, when you took to the dance floor to demonstrate your love of Justin Timberlake by, and I quote, bringing sexy back.
I did though, right?
With your dance moves and poses. I'm informed this caused considerable distress to many members of the public, none more so than the young women whom you preyed upon at the time. Members of the jury, I draw your attention at this time to Exhibit 1, produced by Tim, which is an example of the defendant bringing sexy back. I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, place yourselves in the shoes of the victims as the defendant drunkenly thrust himself towards you with this disturbing look in his eyes. In relation to the more serious offence of outraging public decency, this appears to be a pattern of behaviour. On the 1st of the 1st, 2002, at the engagement of our mutual friend Ellie, at a local leisure centre, the defendant broke into the swimming pool at the venue, which just happened to be below the large glass-fronted room where the party was taking place. Everyone then watched in horror as Simon jumped naked into the pool. This greatly traumatised many onlookers, including myself, and forever changed my relationship with Simon. Furthermore, the incident also left my mother in great distress, as she had to give Mr. Wilkinson a lift home, with him sat soaking wet and wearing only his pants in the back of our car. I draw your attention at this time to Exhibit 2, produced by Rob. A photograph which I do not think the defendant existed, but clearly shows him in the commission of the offence. You will note that alcohol appears to have played a part in many of the defendant's criminal escapades, and this was again the case for Mr. Wilkinson, and an as yet unidentified suspect went out drinking one night and pretended to spit roast a life-size model cow, as can be seen in Exhibit 3. I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, what sort of person behaves in this manner? The most recent evidence of outraging public decency, however, comes from Simon's stag do.
Yeah, I know where this is going, yeah.
At which time he subjected all in attendance to a series of distressful poses, wearing only a mankini. I can see the horror on many of your faces. But I ask you to feel sympathy for those of us who were there at the time and had to witness these traumatic scenes firsthand. I believe Simon Thomas got to know his new son-in-law in a little more depth than he was hoping for. Members of the jury, I can see you all wondering if I'm going to show any evidence of this offence, but it would be wrong of me to do so if this is Simon and Hannah's wedding day, and these images would cause Simon great distress and embarrassment. I'm aware that in a best man speech it is considered taboo to talk about Simon's exes. However, I have no choice but to do so in order to evidence the facts of this case. You worried yet?
Yeah.
It's fair to Simon to say that Simon has had many, many exes. Some were right for him and made him very happy, and I thought they would stand the test of time. Some were so very, very wrong for him, and it's clear they had no future together. Some of these exes I saw firsthand, and some I think were only in his head. I am, of course, not referring to Simon's ex-girlfriends, but rather his extensive list of ex-career paths. You see, in the time I've known Simon, he has had more career ideas than a university prospectus, and has clearly fraudulently misrepresented himself in order to get many of his jobs. I shall list for you now some of the jobs that Simon has had or either told me he was going to have at some stage over the time I've known him. I should take a deep breath. Recruitment consultant, labourer, clothing designer, music producer, musician, radio presenter, photographer, police officer, community first responder, psychologist, surfboard designer, ski and snowboard designer, leisure centre manager, snow sports manager, trampoline park consultant, coffee barista, bartender, cocktail waiter, security guard, paratrooper, SAS soldier, MI5 surveillance officer, MI5 intelligence officer, and my personal favourite, ice cream man. Let's not forget as well that first and foremost, Simon's pretended for many years now to be a ski instructor, despite the fact that I'm not convinced he holds a single qualification. I will leave it to you, the jury, to consider what lies Simon must have fed some of these employers, but to go from ice cream man to trampoline park manager in the space of a few months seems somewhat questionable to me. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, the prosecution rests. However, as is the case in any fair trial, Simon has the right to a defence. However, even combining the salaries of an MI5 officer who is undercover as a ski instructor whilst moonlighting as an ice cream man, Simon still could not afford a decent defence solicitor. And so I shall present the case for the defence on his behalf. Simon and I first met at school at age 11, where we went on to play football together on a local football team, which our dads jointly managed. We were the unstoppable combination of left back and left winger that led the team to many successes, or at least that's how we like to tell the story anyway. In reality, we bonded over the mutual embarrassment that comes over having your father as the manager of a football team that you play on, and I have many fond memories of our footballing days together. It was clear from the bubble football we played on Simon's stag do that he has lost none of his skills on the ball, as he savagely hacked at my legs and sent me flying across the pitch. Simon and I remained friends throughout secondary school, college and university, and into our adult lives. And despite the constraints of adult responsibilities, this has not affected our friendship at all. And I still hugely look forward to the time we spend together. Not least because I look forward to hearing what new career path Simon has. Despite the allegations you've heard about Simon's conduct, I honestly think Hannah couldn't have picked a better man to marry. Simon is about as kind and caring as they come. He's a friend that is always there, ever present, despite the distances sometimes involved in our friendship. And it's been a privilege to call him my best friend for the better part of 20 years. I honestly cannot thank him enough for his thoughtfulness and friendship throughout my life, and for the many happy memories we've shared together. I know as well from speaking to all the guys on the stag do that Simon's friendship is greatly valued and cherished by all, and we wish him every happiness in this new chapter of his lives. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that is the case for the defence, and I feel we've now heard all the pertinent facts relating to the allegations against Mr Wilkinson. All that remains now of the trial is for you, the jury, to deliver your verdict. I'm afraid there will be no time for you to deliberate, and so what I ask is that you deliver your verdict on the count of 3. You will show this verdict by doing nothing if you think Mr Wilkinson is innocent. But if you believe I have demonstrated beyond all reasonable doubt that he is guilty of these offences, and on the count of 3, I will ask you to raise both your hands above your head. Before I do so, however, I would just like to remind you one more time about the sort of man on trial here. Members of the jury, your verdict, please. On 1, 2, 3. Alexander Wilkinson, it's clear by a majority verdict that you have been found guilty of the charges against you. And as you can imagine, the punishment for such crimes must be severe. As such, I hereby release you into the custody of your new wife, who has told me she will ensure that you serve a life of sentence of hard labour and servitude, with no possibility of parole. Step down. Remember the handcuff key. Step down. I think you'll agree, looking at Simon and Hannah, that they are clearly very much in love and look immensely happy together. Even before I first met Hannah, Simon already told me that she was the one. And when I first met Hannah myself, I could see he was right. He and Hannah share the same love of the outdoors and passion for life, and they are clearly a perfect fit. My last words to you both are this: marriage is like a deck of cards. In the beginning, all you need is 2 hearts. Next, you will need a diamond, but at some stage in the future, you may well wish you had a club and a spade. If it ever gets to this stage, just remember that marriage isn't always easy. Take a minute to think back to this day, remember the vows you made to one another and how much you mean to each other, and that you chose to spend your lives together for a reason. Know that your friends and family will always be there to support you in this new adventure. And failing that, Hannah, give me a call as I know how to dispose of a body. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of my ramblings for the day, and I would now ask you to remain seated, but to raise your glasses to Mr. and Mrs. Wilkinson.
How much we control, like I feel when you sleep. To step around, I know this sun will cold, rush down memory used to. There's no room for stay up keep me close, be the water, says my hope. We finally when my heart stops beating and my blood turns cold, when my heart stops beating and my breath won't go. Would you like me to watch you on the dance floor? Yeah?